In the culture war case of America versus Disney, you have to wonder if Bob Iger is trying to gaslight people or if he's actually beginning to believe some of his own nonsense. Yesterday, at a media conference with Moffett Nathanson, CEO Bob Iger was asked some very poignant questions about Disney Studios and threats from places like Epic Universe to Disney's dominance in Florida. And the answers that Bob gave were, well, shocking.
Renegade Online.
This came out, and this was part of the Moffett Nathanson that we were talking about earlier in the show. And Bob Iger saying Epic Universe, since we were just talking about that. Bob Iger, not terribly concerned with Epic Universe for some strange reason. And this is what he had to say this morning during this Moffett Nathanson thing. And let's go down here. I thought the quote here, and I have the audio of this, but I just easier to read it at this point. When asked about the new theme park being built minutes away from Walt Disney World, Iger noted that Epic Universe isn't, quote, distracting or anxiety-provoking for Disney, and that he's confident in the slate of attractions that Disney World has rolled out over the past few years. You know what struck me about that statement? I mean, seriously, let me see. Can I blow this up? Please let me blow this up more, because it's just too good. When asked about the new theme park being built minutes away from Walt Disney World, Iger noted that Epic Universe isn't distracting or anxiety-provoking. How come that's not distracting or anxiety-provoking? I mean, this new, what was Epic Universe? Like some 3, 4, 5 billion. How many billions of dollars are they spending building that sucker out? That's going to double the capacity of Universal parks. He's not worried about that. But Nelson Peltz was a distraction. Remember that? Remember how Bob Iger kept reminding us that we don't, Nelson Peltz is just a distraction. We don't want him being a distraction. He's trying to distract me from saving Disney. He used that word distraction a lot describing Nelson Peltz. Epic Universe, now we're good. That's not a distraction. That's fine. We're fine. It's cool. No anxiety here. Help me. Are you serious, Bob? Somebody in the audience, like, am I on crazy pills? Because that's what I feel like reading this. And he talks about some of the stuff we built in the parks. They built Avatar. They built Tron. They built Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind. They put in some new themed rides in the last few years. Of course, the great one is Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Can't wait for Juneteenth for that one to open. The problem, Bob, is not that you've renovated some rides or that you changed them up or you added a couple of new things. Universal has done that too. Universal has added things like the Velocicoaster, and they've renovated other rides. They're renovating the Dudley Do-Right ride right now, the big Splash Mountain ride that they have, which frankly is better. Or I think it was either that one or maybe, no, it's the Popeye ride I think they're redoing right now. That's another water ride. They redid the Hulk roller coaster not that many years ago. They've been rebuilding and renovating parts of the Universal Park in Orlando almost just as much as Disney has. The difference here, Bob, the difference that makes this statement so freaking bizarre, Universal is opening another gate. They're massively increasing capacity. Do you understand that part, Bob? You understand that just adding new rides and new attractions in the same parks you have now doesn't increase capacity. The same number of people can go in and out of your parks pretty much just as they had before. And I'm sure they'll try to manipulate that with queues and wait times and all this other kind of stuff. But the reality is it's the same square footage. It's the same parks. Universal is making massive expansions. Again, almost doubling their total capacity. Like Epic Universe, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is about as big as the 2 theme parks they have now combined. This is a huge expansion, but that's not bothering Bob for some reason. And this is after he talks about his $60 billion capital expenditure investment in theme parks and cruise ships over the next 10 years. Most of it appears to be going to cruise ships and hotels and parks not here in the U.S., or at least and especially not Orlando. So there might be something there, but they're definitely not keeping up with what Universal is doing in that regard. So I found that a bit funny. Now, there were a couple of other comments during that. I want to bring these up real quick while I'm thinking about it. So let me scroll back on over to that screen that I have set up here. And I want y'all to listen to this. And I marked this, and I want to say thank you to the great Jonas J. Campbell out there who was able to listen to this whole thing this morning. I could not. I was in client meetings. But he listened to this, and he kind of gave me some notes as far as what was where. But there was one section in the beginning. I want to listen to Bob's answer real quick, and I'm going to have to mute my microphone so you don't get the feedback. Bear with me. All right. You guys should be able to hear this.
First became CEO was change the organizational structure. I know how important that was to you back then. That's why I keep asking about organization structure. One of the questions we have is, obviously Disney at its core is about great and evocative storytelling. But I wonder, have changes in either culture or technology challenged the company's ability to be as consistently strong as prior periods of storytelling?
Did y'all catch that? Did y'all hear all that in the audience, right? So the question coming from Michael Nathanson, and you hear him on Disney earnings calls during the Q&A every time. He's always out there. It's like Ben Swinburne followed by Michael Nathanson almost every time. You guys were known for great storytelling. You've been struggling lately. Do you think it's some of the changing technology and audience behavior? It's like, can you just ask Bob, hey, Bob, why do all your movies suck? Why are they all losing money? What happened to all the talent that you used to have that used to make good movies? Let's see what Bob's answer was. Let's find out, shall we?
Well, I think, look, we obviously have a huge history or a legacy in storytelling. The company was 100 years old last October. I think as we got into the streaming business in a very, very aggressive way, we tried to tell too many stories. Basically, we invested too much, way ahead of possible returns. It's what led to streaming ending up as a $4 billion loss, for instance. And the combination of...
Wait a minute. Hang on a second. No, I got to play that again because I know I did not hear that man just say what I heard that man say. No, I don't think that could be right. Do y'all want to hear that again? I need to hear that again. I really need to hear that again. Let's hear that again.
I think, look, we obviously have a huge history or a legacy in storytelling. The company was 100 years old last October. I think as we got into the streaming business in a very, very aggressive way, we tried to tell too many stories.
Did he just say the problem was we tried to tell too many stories? I think, Bob, I think you were missing a word in there. Crappy. I think you were trying to tell too many crappy stories. That's the problem. And again, it's this. I want everybody to stop and think about this for a minute. Let's put this into some serious perspective here. I mean, truly. I'll put the joking aside for a minute because it's really easy to joke about dumb stuff that comes out of Bob Iger's mouth. There were plenty of other studios that were still cranking out lots of content.
Lots and lots of content. Many of them, if not most of them, were not spending near as much to produce the same pieces of content that Disney was. Many of them were not producing as many of those pieces of content that just absolutely fell flat like Disney's did. So again, it's this deflection. There is still this detachment from reality, either by design or maybe Bob genuinely believes this. I'm really starting to question myself on this. I am really starting to question whether Bob Iger genuinely believes this garbage at this point. And maybe he's told this lie to himself so many times that it's become real in his mind. He has to get honest. The quality of storytelling they're doing, it's not because of the volume. It's not because of the quantity. It's because they took bad story ideas and then they hired terrible people to make them. That's it. They hired mediocre talent at best to produce these things. Or they let people at Disney corporate, run by their own internal DEI department, get involved and foul them up. That's the reality. That's what happened. That's what's going on. And the reason I bring that up, I've got another slide here. Yeah, we got to talk about, he's saying, well, we made too much stuff. And you know what? Ironheart is now confirmed coming for 2025. Apparently, it did not hit the chopping block like I hoped it would when Bob Iger started talking about cuts to some of the, especially the Marvel content coming to Disney Plus over a year ago. He started talking about that. Yeah, Ironheart was confirmed during the upfronts because they're selling it. They're starting to show it to people, trailers and whatnot. Yeah, get ready for this dog crap.
Make sure you're subscribed to Valiant Renegade and join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show.